It's 1999 in New York CIT, and there's a huge spike in car theft. In just 6 weeks, more than 500 cars had disappeared. There is no pattern, and worse, no evidence of the vehicles. The mastermind behind this $75 million car theft operation is a 34-year-old Chinese intelligence officer who has gone criminal. And here's how he pulled off the largest car heist in American history. At the age of 18, Min Jinyang joined the Chinese army and rose to the position of intelligence officer. There, he gets training on how to get information from the streets and the best ways to navigate around undetected. After getting out of the Chinese army in the late 1980s, Jinyang relocates to the bustling city of Shanghai in search of work or an opportunity to put his skills to use. Shanghai ranks as one of the affluent areas in China, and Jinyang sees a desire for expensive and hard-to-find legendary cars among China's upper class. The main challenge is that these vehicles are not sold in communist China. Jinyang sees this as an opportunity. With his contacts in China's criminal underworld, Jinyang approaches the Chinese crime scene with an offering to supply them with luxury and antique autos in around 6 weeks. It takes about the same length of time, if not less, to legally acquire any imported vehicle in Shanghai. Furthermore, because high-end rare and classic vehicles are difficult to find in Shanghai, the market price is extremely expensive. A $100,000 automobile in America can easily be sold in Shanghai for double that amount. A contract is arranged, with a 60-40 profit share on the sale of rare cars, and Jinyang receives a $500,000 advance. As the first step, Jinyang now has to identify a place that is full of these types of automobiles. Jinyang understands right away that he must target America. He lands in the streets of New York. He arrives in America with fake documentation and settles into a small apartment while driving a basic Nissan Altima. Jinyang disguises himself as a struggling immigrant using his fake name Kenny. His plan is straightforward: take rare cars and place them in shipping containers on a boat to China. He only brings one guy from China, an old trusted acquaintance from Shanghai named Poi Chow, whom he knows he can completely trust. Together, they form a fake firm named MSK and begin hunting for a warehouse to store stolen cars. The warehouse must be located away from heavily policed regions and crowds, as well as any potential attention. The warehouse is operating as a dry goods food firm, complete with fake signage and cardboard boxes to avoid suspicion, making it an ideal location for a car theft. Jinyang now needs the city's most powerful vehicle thieves, since the warehouse is ready. But doing so requires him to put his trust in an unknown person. He finds that Dean, whom Jinyang meets at a salvation vehicle auction, follows only one rule: Dean must never reveal who he works for. Dean forms a small ring of vehicle thieves and recruits a number 2, a man named Mario Lopez. Lopez will be in charge of bringing the automobiles to Dean, who will then take them to the warehouse, where they will be prepared for shipment to China, all under Jinyang's careful, concealed, but attentive eye. All the autos are driven during the regular rush hours in order to blend in. Police are perplexed at the startling rate at which automobiles are going missing without a trace, approximately 500 cars in 30 days, and they think they have an idea of how to locate wherever the vehicles are heading. Using the car's Easy Pass, a cashless method of charging the car at toll as it passes through New York City's bridges and tunnels, the police determine that all of the stolen vehicles are leaving Manhattan via the RFK bridge. As a result, there are only 2 choices for their current location. Either the automobiles are going to an airport, such as LaGuardia or JFK, or they are going to a Brooklyn shipyard to be loaded into boats. But the cops determine that both ideas are incorrect. The cars were never seen again. Police are perplexed because their plan to track cars using the Easy Pass has failed. There are no stolen parts or car frames discovered anywhere. Where are these cars heading? Jinyang developed a strategy to ensure that no one can figure out exactly what is happening. So, after everyone is satisfied they are clear, they eventually drive the stolen vehicles into the camouflage warehouse. Inside the warehouse, the Chinese mechanics go to work fixing cracked windows, along with additional damage, replacing locks, as well as cutting new keys. By the time they complete their work, the car is in beautiful brand new condition, prepared to be shipped to China and sold at a high price. Jin Yang's primary concern, however, is to avoid detection, and he does not stop there. To avoid customs, the automobiles are put onto container trucks, securely packed in and weighed, and a bogus shipping manifest is made using the correct weight, similar to an actual food shipment. The container trucks then drive the cars to New Jersey, where the containers are loaded onto trains and transported across America to California. Once on the West Coast, the automobiles are loaded into ships and transported via the Pacific Ocean to the East China Sea, where they link up with another ship. The containers are secretly transferred, and a new proper shipping manifest is generated, allowing the ship to enter the Chinese port. The heists are executed flawlessly, year after year, and demand in China is growing. To grow his business, Jin Yang starts exploring antique car garages, auto fairs, and even dealerships. Car thieves enter a dealership as a buyer, looking for a vehicle and requesting a test drive. As the salesperson removes the keys from the lockbox, the criminals notice where it is and the procedure to open it. Days later, they break into the dealership, head straight to the lockbox, and take all of the keys. A team can take 5 cars in 3 minutes. Over the course of 10 years, hundreds of luxurious and classic automobiles vanish from America without a trace, earning Jin Yang more than $75 million. It is the largest robbery of classic and luxury cars in American history, but it is short-lived. It's 2007, and as usual, one of the hired car thieves has driven a stolen car across the RFK bridge, intending to drop it off blocks away from the warehouse, when he is involved in an accident. When police arrive at the scene, they discover that the automobile has been stolen and the driver is arrested. After extensive questioning, the driver eventually reveals the thieving ring and his boss. The police eventually find Dean and uncover the location of the warehouse. In the meantime, Jin Yang has set up his own surveillance in the streets to see if anyone is spying around, and he has configured the warehouse so that he may leave quickly, transferring cars, personnel, and equipment at the drop of a hat. The police arrive to find an empty warehouse. Jin Yang is already back in China. Out of luck and with no evidence, the police had just one option: follow Dean, their sole lead. After a thorough investigation, Jin Yang is quickly arrested by police, putting an end to this 10-year horror. Jin Yang is brought to court after generating about $75 million on stolen automobiles over the course of 10 years, where he pleads guilty and is sentenced to 10 years in prison. However, because the police responded faster than intended, they were unable to follow the movement of the cars from the warehouse to China. As a result, the criminal organization in China is never captured, and no cars are ever recovered. That is the end of the tour to America's largest luxury auto theft ring. What are your thoughts about this video? Comment your thoughts in the comments section below.